for example, if you're a knowledge worker, you end up spending most of your day sitting, unfortunately. That's why then you start to think, oh, did I do my 10,000 steps today? Am I going to the gym today? So, in from your experience of working with people, what has been the essentially the most effective way for people to start to move back toward that primal design and not just get stuck in their modern ways?
So, Jose, we also have to be practical. We cannot tell people that, okay, just kind of give up everything, go live in the forest, and everything will be okay, and then that's not practical because you got to earn a living and uh, provide for yourself and your family and everything like that. But at the same time, we know that sitting all day is a lifestyle that is working against our genetics. Okay, our body and everything in our body is positioned to respond to movement and to respond to lifting heavy weights and utilizing our muscles and everything like that. Once it does not get those stimuli, your body starts degrading. Your hormone levels goes down in men. Testosterone levels go
Mm-hmm.
down. A lot of those healthy hormones that keep your mental status sane, kind of like that, that aspect of serotonin release that keeps you happy and joyful also gets impacted with all of this. So if we know all that, we can say that how can we, and that's my work, is that how can we implement practices that bring that primal element into our life, and for example, for somebody, let's say, who has a desk job, and I have a desk, I'm sure, a job, I'm sure you sit around all day
Mm-hmm.
too with a lot of the work you do. So what can we do? And some of the simple things is, one is checking our alignment, making sure that we are not in our alignment is not working for us. What I mean by that, if you look at the way most people sit in front of a computer, they're hunched over, their shoulders are rolled forward, the head is forward. That puts a lot of unnecessary stress and strain on our muscles of behind on the back. That causes a lot of neck tension. That neck tension again impacts your mood and everything like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the mid back. So first thing is I tell people how to align themselves. And then I would say that every hour that you sit down, I would get up, and there are a couple of studies. One is study says that for every hour that if you do just like 10 squats, like just regular air squats, that it undoes the damage that the sitting is doing to all your main muscles, like your glutes and hamstrings and everything like that. The other aspect is that your body also needs vibration, like when you kind of your foot lands on the ground, that subtle vibration. So one of the things I have people do is that for every minute you sit, you should do like one jumping jack. So which means that, let's say you take a break every 30 minutes, do 30 jumping jacks, which will take you, I don't know, like that will take you like 30 seconds or maybe 40 seconds to do. But that that movement and that vibration on your bones signals your bones that, oh, okay, this guy is actually alive. And then I need to maintain these bones, otherwise your body gets the signal that, all right, well, what do I need all this bone density for? What do I need all these muscles for? So you starts letting go of all these. And then that's why we have people with like low bone density, osteopenia, osteoporosis, low muscle mass. We call that sarcopenia. And then that overall, that type of a sitting pattern and sedentary pattern leads to a lot of health issues. So if you're like that in your 30s and 40s, you're going to have a very difficult time in your 50s and 60s for sure.
That's very important to hear, especially because, nowadays going to the gym, eating your protein is much more in vogue, if you will. But the bone part of the equation, I think it's still missing. It's still not as understood even. Because you can be sitting for 8 hours, go to, for example, deadlifts in the gym. Awesome. You literally lifted heavy things. But it was those 45 minutes compared to the 8 hours in the entire day.
It doesn't compare. And in fact, like a lot of the research also shows that you cannot make up for 8 hours of sitting. by just going to the gym, because that 8 hours of sitting itself is that's a third of your day sitting. So how are you going to compensate for that by just going to the gym? And I think also on a larger longer term scale, the you're you're also putting yourself at risk by just sitting all day and then going to the gym, because overall your bones are getting weaker in that process. So your people are more prone to injury when it's just sort of like that piecemeal and happening, let's say just a small part of your day. And the they have this term called weekend warriors, where your whole week you don't do any activity, and then on the weekend you decide to go out and like be really active, and catch up. But that catch up process doesn't really work. So you have to design your day. Hence the title of my book is Primal Health Design, is that how do you design your day so that you incorporate these primal elements in your everyday life?